This is episode 130 of the Super Parent Syndrome, where we help parents parent themselves. This is Dr. Nick Fanning with special guest Alicia Fanning. Say hi.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about sex, baby. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about our kids in the Core 4. Sit back and relax. Let's get started.
Parenting in the 21st century is ever evolving. And while you balance work, kids, and your sanity, it's easy to feel discouraged. Welcome to the Super Parent Syndrome with your host, Dr. Nick Fanning.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about some of the things that we've introduced to our kids in the last week.
Couple weeks? Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I learned about this process of getting basically it's kind of like a daily checklist, but it's really just to kind of help get more energy for me and get some more momentum for me, so that way I feel like I've invested basically invested in every important area of my life, right? And I learned this from my mentor, Garrett J White. And the biggest thing is that I said, okay, let's pass this on to our kids and let's get them into this regular habit of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You want to maybe explain to people what we're having them do?
Yes. So there's 4 different categories. So
right.
There's for Nick, we named them differently for the kids, but there's body, being, balance, business.
Yep, and that's from Wake Up Warrior at Garrett J White. So we call it, fitness, family.
Body, so for the kids is body, being is family. Mm-hmm. Business is like school.
Right.
And balance would be like food and nutrition.
No, that's body.
What's our balance?
It really is body, being, balance, business, because body, or we say fitness, spirituality, family, and just learning.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so with body, they have to do some exercise. So that's either yoga or doing we've been doing this planking challenge, and we've been doing this burpee challenge, and we've been getting some movement every single day. Mm-hmm. And in all honesty, there's little things in each category, and that's how they earn screen time, or they earn a treat or a date night or things like that too. So spirituality, they meditate and they pray. And we do affirmations as well.
Yep.
Right. So an affirmation is I say, hey, repeat after me, and I say, I'm Nick, and then everybody says their own name, and then we say, I am strong, I am powerful, I am a hero, I am fast. And so we go through these affirmations every day to get them pumped up. And then for family, I have them call one of their grandparents once a day. And what else do we have them do? They have to read to the baby.
They have to read. Yep, they have.
But that's education, really, is reading.
Schooling. Then supplements, so vitamin D, fish oil, probiotic, adjustments.
Yep.
All that stuff.
And so it's basically very systematic, because they basically just have to check the boxes and get all this stuff done, but they have to do it once a day.
Oh, I know something we forgot. I didn't mean to cut you off. They also, because our kids love YouTube, and Nick and I aren't real fans of YouTube, so they actually don't get to use YouTube, except for this one, and we were very sneaky about how we did it. They get to use YouTube, but only to Google something of their choice that they will learn and then have to teach us. Right. So,
and we're there with them.
Yes,
so
during
we all basically just hey, okay, what are we going to learn about? Okay. Now explain it to your brother.
Yeah, so Hayden on Saturday wanted to learn how to make pillows. Mm-hmm. So,
and
down
pearls.
pillows and
pearls. Yep.
So she watched those 2 videos, and then she had to explain them to the rest of us.
Right.
So they still feel like they're getting to use YouTube, and it kind of benefits them in some way. They get to do something fun.
Right. And meditation, we've been using, I have this wearable called the Muse, and so the kids have been really excited to use this little headband thing to meditate, but otherwise they're totally able to just meditate on their own. It's just something fun to add into that. Yeah. So the biggest thing is that what we're trying to do is create healthy habits that they can improve every single day, that they can carry forward even into adulthood. And 2, really just gotta give them a way to power up for their own day, because it's tough in school. I mean, there's bullies there, but there's friends, there's society pressures, there's schoolwork, there's stress, and how are we going to get them pumped up for the day and get them away from just sitting in front of a TV and just kind of get some of that drudge off? But how do we get that momentum? And that's how we came with. We basically said, okay, how can we adapt what I'm doing as a dad? How can we adapt that for our kids?
Right.
And make it fun and exciting. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And they dig it. They've been asking to do the meditation in the morning. They really like it. Mm-hmm. They beat me last night in the plank challenge. They think that's fun.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, like, watching a 8-year-old and a 6-year-old plank for 2.5 minutes is just like, dude, you guys are rock stars. You know what I mean?
But they also have goals that they're training for. So, like, they're training for a Spartan race in June, right? Mm-hmm. In June?
Yeah, it's, no, July.
They have that to look forward to, so they're seeing that coming up the pipe. So they're motivated to do those things, too. But also, it's important to teach the kids that, like, about self-care, because we talk about self-care, and it's hard for us.
Absolutely.
And self-love. In my yoga class, I see that all the time. I teach kindergarten, preschool, first, second, up through 5th grade.
Right.
And those kids can't tell me something that they love about themselves.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that was back in, November when you asked that?
We are still working on it because it's been weeks, and we still haven't made much progress on that.
So, literally imagine her in a group of little kids and just going around saying, like, hey, we're going to now name something we love about ourselves. And then imagine her sitting there and having blank stares come back at them.
A couple of them were actually crying because it was too hard. The default setting is, I like my shirt. Because that's all they can say. So having to dig for something that they really, truly loved about themselves was so uncomfortable for them. And
these are kids that are going to a yoga class. So imagine what the general population, not to say that yoga kids are even better, but these are kids that typically like want
they're expecting to have to do stuff like that, and they can't. So and my kids are there, my kids are included, so when we see that, it's like yeah. So
which is why we had to like really hammer down the affirmations. And folks, like, a lot of this stuff is not like really hard to do or time consuming
or that costs anything. Really,
I mean, the most time consuming part of it is like sitting down and reading to my 4-year-old. I mean, the 6-year-old, the 8-year-old, they have to read for 20 minutes each. And the hardest part is just reading to my 4-year-old when we have a baby and everybody else going crazy. Oddly, everything else, affirmations, doing supplements, the yoga or the exercise is just, it's just several minutes and that's it. So, I mean, total time commitment without the reading part, 15 minutes? 20 minutes? Depends on what the video on YouTube is.
Yeah, I'd say at most an hour, which seems like a lot every day, but it's not nearly that long.
Yeah, it's split up some in the morning and some at night.
Yeah.
Right. And man, they love it so far.
Yep, they do. It's pretty good.
So what are some ideas that we had come up with to make it more exciting? Because this isn't going to last long. We got to change it up, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the ways that we're going to make it interesting and keep it fresh?
Well, like, our kids love Xbox. We have like some Lego games that they like to play. So if they get their Core 4 complete, they get 20 minutes of Xbox to play the Lego game or whatever. The race was a big incentive, being able, because we get to travel to Colorado to do that. Dates. They get to go and pick a treat, which is normally like a smoothie or something. Right, but it's also one-on-one time with us, which, when you have 5 kids, they that's special. Let's see, what else?
Well, then also, even just with the changing up the affirmations to make them fun, or having one of them lead it, we'll have to do. Different workouts, so we might have them lead the workout, and now that it's nice out, we'll be able to switch that up with bike rides or go to the playground. Now, here's the thing. The biggest thing is that during this time, I also want parents to be involved with it. It's not one of those things where you say, like, go do this. This is something you're doing together. So it would be one thing for you, like, all right, guys, go do your affirmations, versus me leading the affirmation. Or, hey, guys, let's work out. Or, no, you go do your workout. No, we're involved as well in there. And it just helps everybody just kind of congeal better. So, again, the biggest thing is that it's like, hey, of course I'd want to go on a bike ride with my kids, or of course they'd want to go on a bike ride with us. These are going to be things that you're going to mix up. And I can tell you this, it's just like around the dinner table. If you're eating the vegetables, they'll eat the vegetables. Yep. And what kind of atmosphere and what kind of home are you creating? So, again, folks, you got to lead by example with this, and don't expect, it's like this. That's why I say in this podcast, we're helping parents to parent themselves. It's so easy for us to want to say, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and not us and leave us alone. Yep. This is just part of it, is that you have to lead by example and include it with that. Yep. So, how's your self-care changed in the last 2 weeks because of this? I've been forced to be more, I can't think of the word. I don't know. I can't either. Think for me what word I'm trying to say. We've definitely been hitting all 4 areas, where before I wasn't hitting all of them. Congruent is the word I'm looking for. Good. Thank you. 4 minutes later. Congruency. But
it kind of pumps you up to see them be excited about it. Because when you're doing it by yourself, that's like dreadful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's dreadful to do stuff because you have to pull yourself out of bed to do stuff in the morning.
Exactly.
But when you have accountability,
or kids that are excited to do it, right? That always helps.
or little eyes that are watching you.
Because remember back even when it was like November, and I was doing squats, I was doing push-ups, and I was doing and then we caught Deegan in his own room doing that.
Our son I snuck around the corner and he was secretly doing squats in his room, and he was sick even.
I know.
So that was like the sweetest little video.
So here's the thing: they're always watching, and we know this, but they're watching what your habits are. And so, are you going to pass on good habits, or are you going to pass on bad habits? Now, I'm not saying that we're perfect by any means. I mean, we screw up every single day.
Every day.
And I gotta be honest, half the time we're kind of grumpy when we start this Core 4 as well. But by the time as we go through it, I mean, it really just kind of lifts our spirits up as well.
It's good.
I mean, it's kind of hard to be angry or even kind of grumpy from not getting enough sleep because everybody's awake because it was a full moon last night, right? That was nuts.
Yeah, it was.
When you're like saying, okay, I'm awesome, I'm a good friend, I love my house, I love my parents, and going through an affirmation like that, or taking a time to meditate, or doing just something to get the breath going.
Yep.
So,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I can't emphasize enough teaching kids self-care and self-love now. I mean, that's just my biggest thing.
Right. And the thing is, the only magic about this is that there's a system to it. I mean, every day, like, honestly, we all wake up wanting to be the best parents we can be. We all wake up trying to be like, hey, nobody goes to work and is like, I'm just going to do a mediocre job. Everybody has a day where it's like, I'm going to do my best. But sometimes when you just have a little bit of organization to it, it makes it that much more smooth. Especially if you have a short-term reward system and a long-term reward system going. It helps them, one, see the immediate reward, but also the long-term goal.
Yep, totally.
So, anything else?
It's good stuff. No, just keep on keeping on, parents. Can do it.
You're not alone, folks.
You're not alone.
So I hope this gives you just a little help in the day-to-day, and especially in the grind, as we like to say. Any last words?
No.
I was hoping that you just wrap this up for us.
I was just thinking, think about the day-to-day grind. That's what I was thinking of.
So, folks, give it a try. What I have you do is separate these into categories and come up with your own ideas for both your fitness, your family, your spirituality, and education. Yep. And think what you can do for that. Because we all know things that we can do to improve our lives. We all know that, hey, reading is good. And teaching, not just learning, but teaching is also how to cement education. That the way we pray or meditate, the way we have our self-speak, so in affirmations, and then, reach out to a family member. Yep. Okay? Or also move your body and feed your body the right way. And if you can do those things every single day, just a little bit by little bit, you're going to make a big difference in a long-term span.
Yep, absolutely.
Love you. Thanks for joining.
Yay.
Folks, thanks for joining us. This is Dr. Nick Fanning and his smoking hot wife.
Signing off.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Super Parent Syndrome. Please be sure to visit peptalksforparents.com for more content and our free newsletter. And remember, you are not alone.